Nobody believed the whispers, surely it couldn't be him. Sidney Crosby. The captain. The legend. The man who represented everything right about hockey. But as cameras rolled and police confirmed the reports, one chilling sentence echoed across the sports world: Sidney Crosby has been arrested. It didn't feel real. This was the face of Canadian hockey, a player adored by millions and respected even by his fiercest rivals. Social media exploded with disbelief, fans asking the same question over and over: what could he possibly have done? The city that once cheered his name now stood frozen in shock. Please like, share, and subscribe for more NHL content. Within minutes, every major outlet had gone live. Reporters camped outside the precinct, news helicopters circled above, and speculation filled the air like wildfire. Some claimed it was a misunderstanding. Others insisted it was something much worse. For the first time in nearly 2 decades, Sidney Crosby wasn't on the ice, he was in custody. To understand the scale of the chaos, you need to realize who Crosby is. He's not just another superstar, he's the moral compass of hockey. The kid from Cole Harbour who grew into a champion, the leader who defined what it meant to be humble and unstoppable at the same time. The idea of him in handcuffs was unthinkable. But then came the footage. A blurry, grainy video surfaced online showing Crosby being escorted into a police car, head down, silent, surrounded by flashing cameras. The internet broke instantly. Twitter, Reddit, YouTube, it was everywhere within seconds. Fans began demanding answers. What had happened? What could possibly justify this? The first official statement came hours later. Sidney Crosby has been detained for questioning related to an ongoing investigation, police announced, refusing to say more. No charges were filed yet, but the damage was already done. The headlines were merciless. Crosby in trouble. NHL legend under arrest. Fall of a hero. Back in Pittsburgh, the Penguins organization moved fast. The team released a short message asking fans to stay patient and avoid jumping to conclusions. But patience wasn't exactly what the internet was built for. Theories spread like wildfire, from tax fraud to a traffic altercation. Everyone had an opinion, and no one had the truth. As the night dragged on, fans gathered outside the arena holding jerseys and candles, chanting his name. Reporters said the scene felt like a vigil. People cried, others argued, and some simply stared at their phones, refreshing for updates that never came. The city that Crosby had carried for years was now holding its breath for him. Inside the police station, sources later revealed, Crosby was calm. Polite. Cooperative. He didn't fight, didn't argue. Just waited. And that quiet composure only fueled the confusion. This wasn't the behavior of a man with something to hide, it was the look of someone caught in something far bigger than himself. By morning, new details began to emerge. Reports claimed Crosby had been involved in a misunderstanding outside a downtown restaurant, a heated argument that escalated when security intervened. A witness had allegedly overreacted, calling police after mistaking the situation for something far more serious. It was chaos born from confusion. Then came the twist. Video from another angle surfaced, showing what really happened. Crosby wasn't the aggressor, he was breaking up an argument between 2 strangers. In the scuffle, one of them fell, someone shouted for help, and police arrived seconds later. The officers, not realizing who he was, detained everyone on the scene for questioning. The moment that footage hit the internet, everything changed. The narrative flipped. Instantly. Fans who had been heartbroken just hours earlier were now furious, not at Crosby, but at how fast the world had turned against him. He was helping, one comment read. He was doing what a captain always does. The Penguins held a press conference later that afternoon. Their general manager stood at the podium, visibly emotional. Sidney Crosby did nothing wrong, he said firmly. He was in the wrong place at the wrong time, trying to do the right thing. Applause erupted in the room as the truth finally surfaced. Minutes later, Crosby himself appeared on camera, visibly drained but composed. It was a misunderstanding, he said quietly. I appreciate everyone who reached out. I just want to move forward and focus on hockey. That simple statement carried the weight of an entire night's chaos. Fans across North America exhaled for the first time in hours. The NHL released its own message, praising Crosby's character and urging fans not to believe unverified reports. Even rivals, yes, even Alex Ovechkin, shared public support, calling the incident unfortunate, and reminding fans that Sid's one of the good guys. The hockey world had rallied around him again. By the time the dust settled, the story had already taken on legendary status. What started as a shocking headline turned into a lesson in patience, truth, and media madness. Crosby wasn't just cleared, he came out looking stronger than ever, a man whose integrity had been tested and proven beyond doubt. In the following days, fans flooded social media with messages of support. Hashtag We Stand With Sid trended across Canada and the US. His next game drew record ratings. Every time he touched the puck, the arena erupted, not just for his skill, but for his resilience. Crosby later admitted the whole ordeal shook him deeply. I learned how fast things can spiral, he said. And how important it is to stay grounded, no matter what people say. It was a moment of raw honesty from a player known for his calm, measured demeanor. The police department eventually issued a formal apology, acknowledging the misunderstanding and commending Crosby for his professionalism. It was rare, almost unheard of, but it was the only way to close the chapter properly. Today, the story lives on as one of the wildest nights in NHL history. A night when headlines went wild, when truth and chaos collided, and when the game's most respected player reminded everyone why he's not just a great athlete, but a great human being. And as for Sidney Crosby, he's back on the ice, doing what he does best, leading, inspiring, and proving that even in moments of scandal and confusion, class and composure always win. But if you think that's the last time hockey fans will see this kind of off-ice drama, think again. Because in the NHL, even the calmest nights can turn into breaking news in seconds. Stay tuned, something tells me the next story might be even crazier.